What is up, guys? It is me, Darth Gaffer here, and today we're going to be talking about the anime Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, or specifically the Phantom Blood arc. In case you don't know, Jojo's Bizarre Adventure was a long-running manga series that's been around since, I would say, the early 90s, and it took a while to get this anime to get this manga into an anime, which is kind of why this anime was only made in 2012, so it's somewhat recent, but that's besides the point. Today we're going to be talking about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood. Let's begin. And so, we're going to start out with, I would say, the characters. And weirdly enough, I like most of JoJo's. I think it's great, creative, and just a lot of interesting plot things. But just, I don't really especially enjoy this arc. And I know a lot of people would probably agree with me. This is the first arc that we have, and I don't think it's really a proper introduction to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure whatsoever. So that's kind of why I think this, it's not the best arc ever. I think it's better as a prologue, kind of in the same way that Conquer of Shambhala, in my opinion, is better as an epilogue rather than an actual source. But just, there's a lot of problems with Phantom Blood, and one of the reasons is our protagonist, and this is kind of just a segue into the character's point, is our protagonist, Jonathan Joestar, is not really the best protagonist. I think it's kind of because he has like a goody two-shoes attitude to him, and that kind of just removes most of the relatability in the character. And I think he's entertaining enough, and I love how if you're watching the English dub, you have British accents because it's set in, the UK, which I think is an extra detail that a lot of people will overlook about the dub. And it's just, doesn't seem relatable whatsoever, and doesn't really, that's kind of his major problem. Even the creator said this, if he had to change one thing about JoJo, it'd be this character. But on the other side of the spectrum, the villain Dio, I think, in my opinion, is a great villain. The entire embodiment of evil kind of thing with the embodiment of good, it doesn't really work for the embodiment of good, but for the embodiment of evil, I think it works. He does kind of like a freaking Umbridge at the beginning, just screwing up everything for Jonathan. And I think he's a very entertaining villain. His motives make sense. And yeah, that's about it. On the other character side, we have Robert E.O. Speedwagon, who I do love his character, but a lot of people, I think he's very overrated. People will say he's one of the good things about this arc, but I disagree. I just couldn't really get into his character a lot. But I do think, yes, he is a good character. We have Caesar Zeppelin. What was his name? Crap. Whatever. Caesar Zeppelin's father, or grandfather, if you read the manga or watched the anime, you'll know who I'm talking about. I forget its name. I'm just gonna call him Zeppelin. And he's a good mentor and all. I like him, but still. You have some side characters like Irina, who's not really too important. And yeah, that's all for characters, and I can't really say, this arc doesn't really start JoJo. It doesn't represent JoJo's style of humor, action, and mystery, and so, yeah. Now we're going to move on to the story, and the story is pretty straightforward. What happens is, just the basis, because this is a non-spoiler review, because I want everyone to be able to watch this. So, the main basis of the story is a man named Dio Brando is trying to get the Joestar family fortune, kind of, because they're rich and whatever, and it's a giant bloodline of people who just money passed down generation by generation, because Jonathan's father, I believe George Joestar, if I'm correct, is, he thinks he got saved by Dio's father, which it really wasn't, but so he thinks he owes something to him, so Dio comes in to take the fortune and poison his father, and, you see kind of like the point in that, and it's just, he tries to do that, and it's very entertaining to watch as an origin story, but as an actual arc, no, it doesn't represent JoJo's style. And now, I think the animation is great. I love this style of animation. I know people won't like it because it's like, everyone's just so, buff, and it kind of, I see why people wouldn't like it, but in my opinion, I like it, and it creates more of an intense and more, kind of, more fantasy-based reality, in my opinion. And most battles are very entertaining. I love most of just characters, besides, Jonathan, Joestar, and some of the other ones that I just mentioned. But, yeah, that's kind of that part. And as far, that's animation, great. Sound design, say for the most part, I think something like Stardust Crusaders, which don't worry, we'll get into that in a later episode, has better sound design. But I think the sound design for the most part is pretty on point. People underestimate the dub of this one. I think that's one of the better features of this is the dub. But yeah. So I don't think this is a proper introduction to JoJo. It doesn't represent the humor of some of the, it doesn't represent the drama properly, which it does. One of the things I'll give it to is this arc has a great ending. It just completely, it takes risks. One of the best part is the ending of this arc. It takes risks. For a matter of fact, this is one of the only, anime or really movies in general that have the villain actually go over. Not a tie, no. But the villain actually goes over. Yeah, and you don't learn after Stardust Crusaders, but still, the villain actually wins, which is something I have to give JoJo a lot of credit for. I mean, it kills off characters, in an actual manner. It can be sad, it can be emotional, heartfelt, all those things. Action, I really do enjoy the action of this, but mainly these two arcs are more about kind of figuring things out as they go, yeah, and also, can I just mention the opening, which I currently have playing in loop right now, is a great opening. I love this opening. It gets you hype, and it's one of the great things about it. It gets you hype. The lyrics are just encouraging as we all shout the name JoJo. And yeah, that's kind of all I have to say for Phantom Blood. But I will say this: Phantom Blood for the is kind of an okay anime, but I don't think it represents JoJo's style properly. So, with that all the way, I have to give this series, which I can't believe I'm giving a well-known series like this very low, but trust me, as we go on, the series, the rating will be very high. And I would say the rating for this specific arc is 7.1. I still recommend to watch it to get a good idea for what comes next, but I cannot say that this is the best arc of the series. This is honestly one of the weakest arcs in the series, but I do find enjoyability of it. But I've heard a lot of people have much worse thoughts on this, where they're just suffering, but I never really could see that. I still had a lot of fun, but when I was showing one of my friends Jojo, he didn't understand why I liked it because of this arc. And so I just told him, wait till we get to Battle Tendencies. It's a much better arc, much better protagonist, and just, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Watch it, but watch it to have a better understanding of this series. And I do appreciate the references to the series after this, but for now, it is a 7.1, and for the most part, I recommend it, but I don't heavily recommend it. If you're gonna get into JoJo, then yes, you probably should watch it. So, that is all my thoughts on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. In case you didn't notice, by the way, this is just kind of announcement parts. I just generally going to pause the AM2R series for this video because I wanted to, have something a little bit different, kind of like the Attack on Titan reviews. I want to do more of these reviews because something I want to do when I grow up is write movies, be a movie writer. And so I know how to, critique things properly, so don't worry. But have a great day. I'll see you guys later.